Hi, it's Chantel from Fiberific. As you can see, we're in my office today, something I don't do very often. It's because this video is a bit different than normal. I was tagged a while ago, it's embarrassingly long ago because I missed it, by totally.net to be part of the hashtag yarn lovers tag. Now this is a list of questions to learn about different yarn lovers. There's quite a few little videos on YouTube which has been really interesting to watch, where people answer these 11 questions, and it's a really good way to find other YouTube videos that might suit you, which I think is just wonderful. I think the more of us watching the more videos from each other, the more we can learn, and if you know me, you know I'm all about learning. So the first question is, who are you? That's a big question. I'm not going to go down the existential path on that one. I'm going to take the much more literal sense of it and answer it with, I'm Chantel. I'm a wife, a mother of one. If you've watched any of my other videos, you've met Abby. And I own and run Fiberific.com.au, which is an online store specialising in all the tools and bits and pieces that you need to knit, crochet, spin, weave, that kind of thing. I do only stock select brands, and they're normally brands that I like personally. So it's one of those things where it's, if I really like it, I figure someone else might like it. And that's how my whole business started. Number 2, do you knit, crochet, or both? I definitely am multi-craftual. I knit and crochet, and I tend to prefer to knit continental, although I can do other methods, but I prefer continental. When did you start your love of yarn? So I started my love of yarn in my teens. I had an auntie who was this phenomenal crocheter. She could do those gorgeous flower, like 3D flower crocheted rugs, and that was sort of my first real look into anything other than something really basic. And I was blown away. I couldn't do it, but I could do the basic stuff, and I absolutely loved it. And that was my first sort of foray into it. And then I didn't really get back into it again until I was in sort of my mid-20s, sort of early, mid-20s to late 20s is when I really hit it hardcore. Number 4, what is your proudest make? Oh my gosh, that's so hard. I think that my proudest crochet make was a star riffle afghan that I made for my mum. I made it a really long time ago, and she still has it, which is really exciting for me. And I made it all, it was sort of my first really actual big planned project. So I went out and I bought all these different shades of purple and things like that. So, because my mum loves purple. If you want to give my mum a present, as long as it's purple, it doesn't actually really matter what it is because she loves purple. So yeah, so I made this big star riffle throw, and that's probably my most proudest moment in crochet. In knitting, it would be my very first beaded shawl. I didn't really have any experience knitting lace. I had no experience with knitting with beads, and I just sort of jumped in, both feet, kind of tend to do that. And that was really my first sort of big knitting project that I absolutely just, well, for a start I finished it, which if you know me, that's pretty important. I don't tend to do that very often. I tend to start a lot of things, test it out, and then just stop. But no, I've fallen down an absolute rabbit hole of the knitted beaded lace. So Boo Knits' fault. I'm blaming her. So we're going with that. Number 5, where is your favourite place to buy yarn? Oh gosh, it's actually changed over the years. It used to be like, it's like everybody when you very first start, big box stores, Spotlight, Linkcraft in Australia. I used to go pretty hardcore there. But as my time for personal craft projects is really limited. If I'm not using my own hand dyed yarn, it's absolutely Eggshell Bunny or Shepherdess. They both just dye beautifully. What is your most used pattern? That's another tough one. I would have to say it's the Jenny King Phoebe shrug. I personally don't own one, but I was making them a lot for friends and for other people, Don't ask me to make one now. I'm burnt out of the Phoebe shrug, but it's this cutest pattern. I'll put a link in. It makes a gorgeous, gorgeous long shrug, and I just love it. But yeah, don't ask me to make it. But yeah, that's probably the thing I've made the most of. I tend to be a make it once, move on to the next thing kind of person. What is your most dreaded yarn task? I absolutely hate it if I have to detangle lace weight. It's followed closely by weaving in ends. Not a huge fan of weaving in ends, but yeah, it would be detangling lace weight, very closely followed by weaving in ends. Are you a Ravelry user? Yes, I am. My Ravelry username is Fiberific Shunty. Then it has a follow-on question: how many patterns in your queue? I'm not owning up to that. There's no way. There's no way. I'm not even going to go and look at it, because I know it's where I put everything that I really like and don't want to forget. I just dump it in my queue. It's not actually a queue of things I want to make. It's a queue of things I like and I might want to make one day. So yeah, I don't know. It's a lot. I could probably look it up, but it would scare me, and I don't want to do that. Number 9, what's your favourite needles? I'll give you all 14 guesses what my favourite needles are. Is my Tiagu interchangeable small set. I use it for just about everything. I love my small set. I've added some extra 4mm, some extra 3.25s, and a 5.5, and 11 billion cables, because I'm not a project monogamist, but I love it so much. And there's not even a close second for me. There's just my interchangeables. That's it. Favorite hooks. Now that's a bit trickier, because my favorite hooks is my little pouch of my tulip Edamo hooks. I got these as a gift from my husband and daughter, and they saved me so much pain, because I get a problem with my wrist, but they saved me so much pain. But I also found when I couldn't get these, or I've got some missing. They're here somewhere in a project or 7. But I found that the Clover soft grips, I really like those too. So, but these ones, this particular pouch is my favorite because it was a present. I love my presents. Number 11, do you have any other hobbies? Yes, of course, I have plenty of hobbies. So aside from knitting and crocheting, there is also spinning, weaving, dyeing, which I suppose is technically part of my job, but I also do it for myself for personal enjoyment. So that makes it a hobby, right? Then there is, outside of that, there is then also, I play guitar. I dabble at the piano. I'm not very good, but I enjoy it. I like to sing. What other hobbies do I have? It just feels like there's so many all the time, and I can't choose between them all. Is going to the movies hobbies or a pastime? Because I love all my science fiction stuff. I love going and seeing the new movies that are out. I love reading the books. I like reading the comics. I love watching everything to do with it. So on Twitch, and I watch like Geek and Sundry and Hyper RPG, which are like talkie shows that talk about playing games and stuff like that, which I just love. There's not enough hours in the day for me to give all my passions enough time, so sometimes they get put back burner, and then I remember, hang on, I love doing that. But yeah, so there's so many hobbies. The next part of this challenge is for me to tag other people. So I am going to be tagging Eggshell Bunny. She does not have a YouTube channel, but she might write a blog post. I will tag a Shepherdess Aussie Handmade, so you might catch a video over on her Instagram feed if you are lucky. For other YouTubers that I will tag is Yarnder Woman, Melinda. I would love to see Melinda do this. And also Penelope over at Stash and Notions. So guys, I will link you and send you messages and say, hey, do this thing. I really hope you follow this tag and have a look at some of the other videos and the other things that are coming out about it. It's been a lot of fun. I kind of let it go a bit late. Whoops. And I just really wanted to thank Total Lee for tagging me and for being so patient, even though I completely did not understand the message she sent me at first. and then I realized what it was, and I felt like such a numpty. So I'm just been really enjoying this. So I'm going to see you on Thursday at 10 a.m. live on YouTube here, 10 a.m. Brisbane time. So have a look at your calendars. I believe it's May the 4th. So there may be some sort of Star Wars-ish discussions happening. Maybe, maybe not. We'll see who wants to talk about Star Wars other than me. And I will be crafting, having the crafty cam going. So I haven't decided what craft I'm going to do, so let me know. Do you want to see me spin, or do you want to see how progress is going on Abby's blanket or one of the other 11 billion projects I have going? Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this. It's time for you to fill your universe with fibre fun. Off you go. I'll see you next time. Bye.